king, looking for myself a queen. Ready to chase a dream with a dope self-esteem. You find it in all I know, and that's for real. You get to shaking that ass on the floor, and I see what's real. No disrespect, I just tell it like it is. Do you ever want some kids? What your ultimate goals? Maybe I can help with those. The mo was broke when he made you a blessing. You looking like a whole buffet, and I need some seconds. You say you had promiscuous ways, that was back in the day. I'll be alive, I say I did it. That shit was a phase. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you if you go playing. Won't you take that chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Lady, you so far ahead of these others, just like a ship on the horizon. Picking up on your vibe, signal stronger than Verizon. All the thoughts that I've been contemplating, ain't no time for faking or debating. You the one, ain't no mistaking. Look, I see your swag different. Always carry yourself like you ready, you know the mission. I had to know you, I'm 10, okay? I can see why you timid. Hold up now, baby, listen. Just take that dance with me, I can show you that there's a difference. I'm locked in. I throw away my playaways because you pop in. A shooter always shoot a shot. With you by my side, I guarantee we'll reach the top. I put that on God and them, I give you all that I got. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place, this nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes, this one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby, listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you if you were playing. Won't you take that chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk, yeah. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me.
Hi, everybody. What's going on? What's cracking? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Behind Them Six with your boy Ham Solo 05 Gaming, hanging out here on the TSWS Gaming channel on YouTube. Y'all know what to do. Hit the like button. Say what's up in the chat if you feel like it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We do this every Thursday, and I have different shows throughout the week that you can check out. But without further ado, let me go on ahead and introduce my guest that I'm just going to go ahead and call Smack. But she goes also by SMACPISCES. And then on Twitter, if you see her name on there, it's Cameron, but it's at SMACPISCES, correct?
Right.
So please do me the favor of letting everybody know where they can find you other than just Twitter, because I already named one, but I'm sure there's more than one place. You have some dope content, and I'm excited to talk about it, but please let them know where they can find you.
Well, you guys can find me where you're watching right now on YouTube, SMACPISCES. SMACPISCES everywhere, so I don't have to say that more. But YouTube, Instagram, we're on TikTok now, posting some gaming clips, and Twitch. So I'm back to streaming on Twitch a little bit. So if you're into that thing too, you can find me there.
So I want to ask before we go any further. So you said you do Twitch, you got YouTube and whatnot. What kind of content do you provide to the people that watch your stuff?
So on Twitch, we do a lot of Dead by Daylight and a lot of indie horror games, which I love. Okay, I don't love them, but I like to play them and be, scared and things like that. So you can find a lot of horror content over there. And then on YouTube, I'm doing a little bit of variety. We played Sunset Overdrive, Life is Strange. So you can find literally anything your heart desires over there.
Fantastic. And I tell y'all, she has some really funny content. Like,
thank you.
I was telling her before the show had started, like I was giving her kudos on her content, and obviously if I like your content even a little bit, I like to invite people to the show. But for her, it was something a little different because I was kicking it, just doing my, studying that I do before these shows, so then I can come through and have some sort of knowledge of the person that I'm inviting, as long as they have content. Some people don't, and then I'm just kind of floating in there hoping that I figure something out. But with this one in particular, I went to her channel just to check it out, see what's popping, see what she's like. And I tell you, girl had me laughing within the first just like 30 or 60 seconds. She does on her channel on YouTube, she does like a lot of like scene by scene kind of play going on, where she clearly edited it for you to enjoy. And those edits are funny as hell, especially when she's doing like something scary. Man, that the game plus her equals just it's a lot of laughing. I tell you that much. But I checked her out on stream, and she's just as chill on the stream. She knows how to work the chat really well. Fantastic individual in the gaming community that you guys should go check out. So her information is in the description below. Make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button wherever she is, and make sure you keep her in mind when you go to check out Twitch or YouTube or something like that for your future viewing. But without further ado, please let me know what's going down right now. What are you playing? What's going on?
Right now, I am kind of feeling things out. I've been trying to kind of seek out new things that I want to bring to the YouTube channel, because there's literally always so much to play, and then like never anything that I like want to play. So I'm thinking about playing some Final Fantasy, going back to some of the classics that have been remastered. Definitely going to be playing some more horror games, and definitely going to be trying out Hogwarts Legacy very, very soon, because I've seen amazing things about that as well.
It's fantastic. I've had a really good time playing Hogwarts Legacy. I already have around 17 to 20 hours in it.
Jeez.
Like a maniac. Yeah, I know. It's not even out for everybody else to play yet, and I'm sitting here just
Hey, do what you gotta
slamming.
do.
I'm eating. But anyways, I want to shout out the chat real quick before we go any further, just because you guys are who I do this for. I enjoy you guys coming through here, supporting the channel, saying something in the chat and whatnot. So shout out to Stank Maw. I see Dragonheart Yobi up in the chat. A new person I see in the chat for the first time is I think it's Hid Dinox or something like that. It says Cam.
Hello.
Cam, tonight is with Ham. Let's go. Anyways, we got another one. I think it's Epitaph 1001. And I know that has to be Epitaph, because that's a Halo level, I believe. That's a Halo level. But that's the first time I've seen you in here. Appreciate you coming through. We got, I think it's Ultipage. That's a new one as well. Do you know that? You know that person?
I do. I know Six and Paige. I know them both, and Finn. Amazing people, by the way.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, I'm happy to have you guys here. Thank you for showing the support to this fantastic female I have today on the show, and thank you for coming to the channel for the first time. If you enjoy this episode, you know what to do. I don't got to repeat myself over and over. But shout out to everybody that's showing up. I see some more people rolling through, but we got to keep it moving on the show. Just so you guys have something to watch other than me reading comments. But anyways, so she had mentioned Final Fantasy, and you know what that means, right?
I don't know what that means.
In my time of gaming, when somebody says they're a pretty big Final Fantasy fan, the first thing I think that they enjoy, which is fantastic, is a PlayStation. And before we actually got into this conversation on, stream where everybody could see, I had asked you, what was like the first thing that was like in your household that was readily available and something that you like to play a lot? And you said that you grew up as a PlayStation kid. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Please let everybody know what it was about PlayStation that kept you there. What games, what, version of the PlayStation was it? Information. Let it go.
For sure. So I think my very, very first console that was like actually my own, that like wasn't like a cousin's that I was like stealing from. Not that I'm a stealer. Okay, off topic, but my first console was a PlayStation 2, and I've been gaming since I was like a kid. So I was playing like the Scooby Doo game. I was playing like Cyber Chase, like things
Let's
like
go.
that. I was super into all of those. And then when I got older, well, like not much older, but a few years older, I started playing Final Fantasy X, which I fell in love with. Like, absolutely my favorite, well, one of my favorite games to date. But the PlayStation was just always like easy for me to pick up.
Hmm.
I was super used to the controller at a young age. Like, it was just something that like I loved. Played Tekken on there, beat my cousin's ass. It was awesome. It was just a good time for me. So I just kind of stuck with it as I grew up.
So, what all PlayStations did you have as you grew up? Because I'm assuming it didn't just stop because you said the PlayStation 2 was that your first one?
Yes, that was the first one.
Okay, so PlayStation 2, did you go down the line and get 3, 4, and now 5?
I don't have a PlayStation 5, but I
Oh,
did
okay. Well,
do
let's
3 and
rewind.
4 and PSP.
Okay, so you already named some of the great games that you enjoyed off of PlayStation 2, which include like Final Fantasy and like Tekken and stuff like that, correct? What was the transition like going to a handheld from being a console gamer? Because I remember my story about that, but I'm not here to talking about me. I'm here to talk about you. So, what was it like for you? Because I know there are feelings that come with, oh, this is handheld now compared to being hooked up to the TV. Give
Mhm.
me some pluses and minuses with that.
Yeah, so I mean, it wasn't like a completely new thing going from like PlayStation to PSP because I did have like Nintendo handhelds growing up too, but
Okay.
PlayStation was always my main thing. But I will say when I got the PSP, I loved it personally. The only things that I guess like I didn't like were like the range of games that they had for the PSP at the time, because I
Sure.
ended up like getting my PSP pretty early and then I ended up breaking it pretty early. So I didn't get to experience the,
I
I
got to know
guess.
what part of it broke. What part of it broke? Because I'm wondering if it's the same issue that I had.
Do you wanna say it at the same time?
Sure. All right.
Eh,
1, 2, 3. The
the back.
tray.
Oh. Yeah, so the back on the
Mm,
tray, it popped off and it
Yep.
would not stay back on. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. It was the game holding tray,
Yep.
right? And mine still worked, but it, like anytime I'd eject, it would be like hanging off the side. It'd look really raggedy. It's almost like I was
Yeah.
like nobody looking.
Exactly.
I'm gonna change
You
this
can't take
game
that
real
to school and
quick.
be cool, like, it's all fucked up, like, they think you stole it, it's bad.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, my analog stick was beat the hell up because I played Madden on it.
Oh.
And
I don't know nothing about that.
a lot of stressful plays were made on that little PSP that I had. But anyways, continue on with your story, please.
Yeah, I mean, that was really the gist of it. One day I was playing Crisis Core and I was losing a level, and I guess that I got mad and I dropped it, and the tray broke, and there was no PSP after that. So I didn't get to experience the greater games that came out on the PSP before they like did away with it and did the Vita thing. But yeah, it was
You
an
from
experience
Florida?
for sure. No.
Okay, I just gotta ask because I know my cousins and some family down there. They like spiking their controllers and shit like that when
Oh
they get mad.
no.
I'm just making sure. I
No,
mean,
no,
I
no.
just Florida woman comes out,
Kentucky
bust
woman.
PSP.
Kentucky woman still it still flows through. Still
Oh,
smashing
okay.
stuff.
Gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. Okay, so shout out to Ruby. I see you up in the chat. Came through to support. Fantastic to see you here. We also got Evident, I believe, is the
That
name.
that's my man.
Oh, snap, that's Evident. Hey, I see you, bro. Coming to support. That's how men do for they ladies. So I like to see that. That's
Period.
what's up. That's what's up. Good to see you out here. But yeah, so playing that PSV and then eventually spiking it and destroying it.
Right.
Your next step then was to go. What was it? Go back to the PS2, or were you off to the PS3 at that point?
I think I was off to the PS3 at that point. I had my
Mm.
PS2 not too long after that, more so for like the nostalgic games, but I ended up keeping my copies and then getting rid of the PS2. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
I mean that's what a lot of people did back then. Would you get rid of the PS2 for some credit?
I don't really remember. I think like my mom ended up giving it to like a neighbor that we had because like they didn't have any consoles and like, me being a kid, I was like, "Hmm," but I like gave it to him. You know. I had to
I
do what we
got
had
you.
to do, but I was not happy about it.
She said I was selfish, but I just did it. Got it.
Yep.
So PS3's out. You are loving it, I'm guessing.
It was okay.
Oh
I didn't really like
no,
the
what
PS3
happened?
that much.
What
I
happened?
don't I just felt like the interface was clunky. I missed my like PS2 like abyss with the squares that would be like the loading screen when you pop up. Like it just wasn't what I expected and it
Very
ran kind
simple.
of
The PS2 is
crappy.
very simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Browser, system config. That's it.
Yeah. And then like I also lived out in like the middle of nowhere in Kentucky when I was growing up. So like the capabilities that the PS3 came with, it was like I couldn't even really like capitalize on that because the internet was so bad. So it was just like another console to me, but like it wasn't as cool as the PS2, I guess.
A lot of updates for you too. Yikes.
Yeah.
Being in the sticks and having updates all the time, that doesn't mix very well. My buddy, I have a buddy Ed that lives out in Omaha, Nebraska. He lives in the sticks part of it. Which I'm from Lincoln, which is only about 50 miles away, but I currently don't live there anymore. But he lives in the sticks and he had a PS3 and he had to use this little internet thing. It was called like it was a type of internet thing that you could take with you. I think it was like a jetpack
Can
or
you
jump
plug
pack
it
or
into
whatnot.
the thing?
Mm-hmm. But the problem is like whenever he did like an update, he would use a ton of his internet. A
Mm-hmm.
ton of it. And he wouldn't be able to re-up until the next month. So he
Just
never
shitty.
could play online. He could never play online. He'd only use that thing to get an update. And if like the game that he needed to download was online, that one game would ruin his internet for like most of the month. Just trying to
Yeah.
download it.
Real country problems. I had the same one. It was like an AT&T thing. My mom would just like, "Why are you running the internet up?" Da, da, da. They never got to use it, but it was worth it. So
I'm happy you know what I'm talking about because those were pretty foul times to be an online gamer. Absolutely.
you're telling me.
All right, so PS3, were there at least some games on it that you absolutely enjoyed, or was it just like, like the entire time?
I want to say it was and the entire time, but that would be a lie. There was like I don't even know. Is it like I don't know the name of the development company that released Detroit Become Human, but they had a game called Beyond Two Souls that was on the PS3.
Right.
And I played the crap out of that. And I think there was a Tomb Raider game as well. That was like one of the first ones that was kind of like redesigning Laura Croft and like she kind of looked different. And it was more action based. Those were the two that were like the most memorable for me, but the rest of the experience was terrible.
Damn, she said terrible.
I'm just not a PS3 fan. I think it's ugly too. Like they just missed
He's
the
just
wall.
so disrespectful.
It's very ugly. It
Did you
is.
have the backwards compatible one at least that played your PlayStation 2 and PS1 games?
No.
So
So it
you
was
were
just a
just
box, like, and my PS2's at the neighbors. Like I'm pissed.
all right.
So it was
We got to
awful.
move on because you just so disrespectful to that PS3.
I'm not wrong.
I'm just now years later because I grew up on the opposite side of the street. I was Xbox for everything. I did own a PS1, PS2, and everything like that. But after the PS2, I was just Xbox all the way home, pretty much. So now I finally got all the consoles that I had back from when I was a kid, and I bought a few others that I didn't have, like the Sega Saturn. I got a PS3. and a Super Nintendo because I was a Sega kid growing up as well. So got a few things that I didn't have before in the past, and I tell you, this PS3, you are hating right now. That thing is underrated.
Are you looking at it right now?
Oh, I mean,
it's ugly, isn't it? You don't want to look at it for too long.
Leave it alone. Leave it
like
alone.
You keep side-eyeing it because you like,
oh man, I feel bad. Anyways, keeping it moving. You now hear the PlayStation 4 is dropping. Were you nervous or were you sprinting to the store to get it because of the PS3?
I think at that point I was like at the teenage age where I was like wanting to stay on top of everything. So like when it launched, I was like, Mom, know what I want for Christmas. Like I wanted it so bad. And I think that it looked so much better that I was like willing to give it another shot. So yeah, I was all about it when it launched for sure.
I ain't gonna lie, even though I never had one, and I still don't have one today, the PS4 is probably one of the most attractive looking consoles to ever come out. I don't know what the hell they did with this PS5.
Yeah, that's also ugly.
It looks like a goddamn building, a building to look like a what is it called? Like a binder, a half open binder. Remember those old school binders back in the day? I'm not sure. I mean, but like they'd have like Pro on the front of it, or they'd have like some weird design, and you could zip them shut. Yeah, it looks like this binder is overflowing and you got to zip it and it like pops open.
Yeah, all your folders are out and everything. It's exactly what it looks like.
It looks wild. So I got to know before we move on to the PS5, which you chose not to get this time around. I'm really interested in hearing about that. But what was it about the PS4 that you really enjoyed? What are some games?
Oh, game-wise, there were a lot that I ended up playing because I had my PS4 for like the longest time before I actually went to PC. I still have my PS4, but I was playing that for the longest time before that. One of the most memorable games I played that's like not even like a viable game to play right now is Friday the 13th. Like I met so many cool people on there when it first like launched in 2016. I had like just gone to college and I would just stay up playing that, like meeting people and just trolling people, and like it was just so fun and well made when it's like in its prime that was probably like one of my all-time favorite PlayStation games. And I know that that's far-fetched, but it was really good at the time. It was so nice.
Okay. Tell me about why horror is so big for you. But I'm gonna pause the PS4 question just for a second because I'm telling you guys, she makes fantastic videos and they're hilarious when you watch her play these horror games. Her reactions to them, the commentary after she defeats or makes the person that's chasing her, fall off or whatnot. It's the commentary is awesome. So please tell me what got you into horror games.
It all started like in horror movies for me. Like I love horror movies like to the nines. Like I love being scared. Like when I was a little kid, I remember I had to be like 4 and It, like the original It came out and my mom had it on like I guess it was VCR at the time. She was like, "Don't fucking go in my room and watch It." And I did. I went in there and I popped that thing in there and I watched it and I was scared as shit. And she was so mad because I was in her bed every night. But that kind of started the whole thing because I was like, okay, I'm scared, but I kind of like it. So then I started getting into horror games through that because I was like, oh, they make actually like really good horror games. So yeah, that's kind of what sparked it.
I could just see you walking to school looking at them sewer drains like, I'm walking around this motherfucker right here.
Yeah.
I better not see a balloon. I better not see a balloon.
Nope. Not at all.
So horror is something that you picked up through movies first. Right. What was the game that introduced you to horrors that made you be like, you know what? This is clicking like I wanted it to.
It was definitely the Silent Hill PT demo. Okay, not even a full game, but I had it on my PS4. Okay, and I downloaded it and I kept it in my PS4 for as long as I could because I know you can't get it anymore.
Right.
But that really like propelled me because I was like, oh shit, like this game's actually good, if they would have developed it. But when I was playing the demo, I was like, oh shit, like this is really, really good. Like I really want to get into this. Like this is scary. Like I love this. And so yeah, that kind of like kickstarted it. I was like, what else can I do?
So so this horror thing started later in your gaming. What were
Yeah,
you
because
previously into then before? Was it just adventure games?
very much like story mode games a lot. Well, one of the reasons why I picked up Life is Strange and decided to bring it to the channel was because I love like your decision matters, story-based games where I can really like control it and like feel for the characters and feel the situations. And I'm like,
You're gonna
I
love
don't want to say like
Hogwarts.
I'm excited. I don't want to say like, oh, I'm an empath because I don't really know what that entails. But whenever I'm like
No, I've
watching
never heard of
something
that.
or I'm Oh, it's like someone that like feels like really deeply and picks up on people's energies and stuff. I don't know if I'm all that, but I definitely when I'm playing games or watching movies, I like immerse myself so well. So story mode was definitely like my main, genre of games. But with the horror thing, how I kind of transitioned into that, and I think why I was so against doing that is because I think when you're watching a horror movie, there's a layer of protection for you because you're kind of watching it on the TV, you're in the comfort of your bedroom.
Right.
But then when you're placing yourself into these situations, obviously you're not actually going to die, but it gets a little bit more intense. And I think that scared me for a little bit, but now it's exciting. I'm into it.
Yeah, it's like a mental roller coaster, right?
Yeah, yeah, completely.
Absolutely, gotcha. So moving on from that, you said PT was a big deal for you on the PS4 to get you into to the horror genre. Were there any to follow on that same console?
Not on PS4. I don't think so. I don't think
Wow.
I ever really got into anything on PS4 where I was like, this is genuinely like a good horror game. Not to say there aren't any, but I didn't experience them with my time.
Let's go. I just got a fantastic chat message just now. Ruby slid through and says, I just subscribe to Smack
Oh,
Pisces.
thank you. Thank you, Ruby. Welcome to the channel.
We
Hello.
need more of that. So if you guys have a moment, it's free to do. Just hop over to her channel. We'll still be here doing this show, but yeah, go to the description, hit that button, hit subscribe on her channel, and come right back. And if you're not subscribe here as well. That'd be fantastic. I'm all for the gamers. I like to showcase whether you're a developer, just a regular gamer at home, or if you're a content creator, I'm here for you. But anyways, continuing down the line of questioning, got a kind of a serious one coming up.
Uh-oh. Ooh!
What? Yep. Yep. Buckle up. So why did you say, you know what, PlayStation? I think it's ran its course right now. What made you say that and go and slide into the PC master race space?
Oh.
Oh, and instead of the PS5, like what happened there? What happened?
Sorry, I got a cough.
It's okay.
So, for me, it wasn't so much as, oh, the PC's better, there's this, there's that. For me, it was more so, I started to want to become a streamer. And so that was my whole kind of reasoning behind getting a PC. It was like, okay, this is something I actually want to do. This is something I actually want to put time into. Like, I got to start investing in it. So I ended up getting a PC for that main reason. And then I kind of started to stick with it instead of getting the PS5 just because I kind of felt like it had everything I needed. And I knew that, my PC is what I stream from, da 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 da. And I didn't really want to mess with the console if I didn't have to. Speaking of, I ended up getting a Nintendo Switch while I had my PC, and I barely play it because everything I need is here. So it was more so like this kind of follows the path of what I want to do. So I'm going to invest in this rather get a PS5.
Mm. Okay, so no hard feelings to the PS5. It was just time
Right,
to.
right, right.
Whoa,
Other
it
than
was
it
just
being
time
ugly.
to. Oh, what? I mean, why do you always gotta throw in some disrespect?
I can't get an ugly console. That thing's just sitting in my living room like a piece of art. Ugly.
Ugly. Oh man. So
Do it.
you don't have a PS5 at all currently,
Nope. I do not.
and you don't want to get one sometime soon.
I kind of want one, but it's not on my like priority list. But I think I want one just to experience the graphics and like the innovation that it has to offer from like the PS4 kind of space, I guess.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's just you were calling it ugly and everything. Oh man. But anyways, I want to shout out a couple people that just rolled through here because I feel they deserve that respect. So General Spartan, General Spartan 27 said, "Good evening, everyone. Good to see you." Also says AT&T is trash, especially because I live in the country. Then I finally got T-Mobile, way better and cheaper. Oh, look at that T-Mobile ad right there. You just slid that right in there. I got you. And then we're going to look up General Spartan and see a T-Mobile ad. He going to be wearing the pink shirt looking proud.
In the shirt. Exactly.
All right. Anyways, enough clowning on my chat. But continuing on, Epitaph just says LOL, Dragonheart Yobi. The team is called Quantic Dream, who made Detroit.
That sounds familiar. Yep.
So Dragonheart Yobi got you back. Dragonheart Yobi is a fantastic person in this community. Do you know him?
I do not.
Man, he's a very, very supportive person within these gaming streets, I'd say. Very good guy. But anyways, Matt Likes Games comes through, says, "Yo, what's up?" That's my brother right there. Not literally, but you know what I'm saying. Ruby comes through and says, "I feel old looking back at gaming. It ages me and brings back so many memories." Absolutely, it does. Absolutely, it does. Anytime I had my daughter playing my Sega Genesis yesterday, and I have an emulation cartridge in there called the Mega Drive, and she was playing Barbie's Vacation or something like that. And she was singing along with it and playing, and I was just like, man, I remember when gaming was just so damn innocent. Now it's just like everyone's like, it has to be this way or something like that. You know, it's a totally different feeling. So I see what you're saying, Ruby. It's definitely different nowadays than it was back in the past. What's up, Tortoise Hawaii in the chats? He says, "Yo." Ruby comes through. Already said that about the subscription, which was dope. Hustle and Motivate comes through with all these fire emojis and saying, "Great to see you here, ma'am."
Thank you.
Graphics God said he subbed as well. He's another fantastic person in the community. I tell you, I'm going to tell everybody this right now. Graphics God is that guy. If you need any kind of animations, new profile picture, if you need some like a reusable like thumbnail, he does all sorts of different type of work, and it's fantastic. Even Phil Spencer used one of his pictures as his profile picture.
Damn, dude. Might have to hit you up.
Flexing.
DM's open.
You're right. She said DMs is open. But anyways, I'm seeing some fantastic stuff in the chat. But carrying on. So you said you're hoping at some point to get the PS5, but are you waiting for it to go back into the dressing room and figure it out and come back out, or are you just waiting until you're ready to buy one?
I hear you can get skins for it, so I'm not too worried about it being like butt ugly, like face only a mother could love. But I don't know. I don't really know if I need it. It's kind of a want thing, so it's a little low on the priorities. But
so tell me a little bit about the PC and like what was like entering into that space. Because I tell you what, as a gamer, not as a content creator so far, okay? So let's just keep this one tracked. So as a gamer, I know when I first got my PC, got it all hooked up, got Steam, I was just like, what the hell do I do now? Because there's just so much goddamn content. So please tell me what your experience was kind of like.
It was very, like, disorienting for me because, I don't know, I was trying to let me back up. Just trying to play games when you've been doing this and now you gotta do this is really stressful because I can type without looking, but I swear to God, the whole time I was learning how to game, I was like looking like this and like trying to make sure I was on like WASD. Like that's how like foreign it felt to me. So it was definitely like a learning curve for me, probably a lot steeper than most people. But I mean, once I got the hang of it, it's been like pretty nice. It's super convenient, you know. So that's been the main reason why I've stayed with it because I don't really have a good reason to leave.
Okay. All right. So would you say you don't use controllers at all anymore? Are you all mouse and keyboard?
I am all mouse and keyboard on all my PC games. And then occasionally
She's the
I'll play
person you don't
Smash.
want to play with on console. She's that person right there.
Yeah, I
Cheater.
would be missing everything at
She's a
this point
cheater.
because I don't know about that. Don't y'all got like aim assist and stuff on Apex and all that stuff? But no, I'm definitely more coordinated now. Just hit gold in Valorant, we out here.
Oh,
But
damn. All right.
working on it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, all right. You flexing. All right. Chill out now. We on live. I don't need to be feeling these types of ways. But anyways, to carry on. So now I want to get into one other topic before we move into your content creation. Was there any point, because I asked this, when like if you're more on if you're more on Xbox, I want to know why you didn't get a PlayStation. If you're more on PlayStation, I want to know why Xbox didn't appeal to you, just to kind of get a feel for your background a little bit. And because I don't know, who knows why, but did you ever get into playing on Xbox at any point in your life, and what about it was like nah for you?
I think for me, I played Xbox like at a friend's house when I was younger, and it wasn't really like, oh, this is ugly, but like now. But it was just more like I just felt like there wasn't anything that was Xbox exclusive where I was like, okay, like I want to leave my PlayStation because I want to play like Halo or something like that, because that wasn't what I was playing when I was growing up. So
Gotcha.
it wasn't really like, oh yeah, like I don't Xbox is bad, I don't want it. It was just more so like it just wasn't a need. Like I just didn't really feel like I was missing out on too much. So yeah.
Fair enough. And as a PC gamer, I'm wondering, does the application of Xbox even remotely, like, is that something that interests you, a subscription service, or are you just like, screw that, I'm getting Steam?
Yeah, I do use I don't even is it Game Pass? Yeah, I
Right.
do utilize Game Pass, but not really for anything that's like Xbox exclusive. It's normally just like, oh, there's a sale. And I'll use Game Pass, but yeah, it just depends.
So you use the service, but you just don't have any of the consoles or anything
Yeah,
for it.
yeah,
Okay, well that's interesting, because I mean, Xbox came from being a console that you had to buy discs for, right? And now
yeah.
it's becoming more of an ecosystem to where it's like you can enjoy it, but you don't actually have to have one in your household. You can play it on your phone or on your PC, and I really hope PlayStation gets that same thing going on PC, because that would be fantastic. I really thought it was a super miss when they didn't make the VR able to be plugged into your PC. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
A whole
Yeah.
VR and it can't plug into your PC. I thought that was kind of weird. I'm still interested in getting it, but I just think it's weird that like the thing that pretty much helped put it together doesn't work on there.
Yeah.
because everything starts from a computer before it gets to a console, right? So it's just kind of weird, in my opinion. But interesting stuff right there. I always like to know why for certain things. But now getting into the content creation, what made you kind of think, hey, I'm gonna turn on a camera and talk to it and see what
I think
happens?
I think for me, ever since I was a kid, I've kind of loved like being on stage, and like I know that when you stream and things like that and you put out videos, you're not on a stage, there's not like people like actively, watching you and spotlights and things. But I just like loved like putting myself out there as a kid. Like I did like dance recitals as a kid. Like I loved it. Like I want to get dressed up, I want to see people, I want them to see me and clap. Like I wanted all of that. So it was always like a dream of mine to do something where I could interact with other people and like show like a talent that I had, and do something like that. But streaming in particular, I started watching streams when I was in middle school. Like I'd be on the bus ride home or something, before the service cut out. And I would like be watching streams and doing things like that, and watching YouTube videos like Markiplier and things like that, and Corey Kenshin and on all of those people. And I was like, I might want to do this. Like I like to game, like I like to talk to people, like I might want to do this. But it just took like ages before I was ever able to like I don't know, bring that to fruition. Like I started streaming in 2019, but since I was in middle school, I wanted to do it.
Oh
Not
damn. So
streaming in particular, but
this was a build up then.
yeah. And I don't mean like I wanted to create content in middle school, like bad. And you'll never find the videos, so don't go looking. But I had a YouTube channel when I was like kind of growing up. And it definitely was not structured. It was like gaming and singing and makeup and this and that. But it's just always been something that I knew that I wanted to put myself into. So kind of snowballed.
Okay. Describe to me the feeling when you put out that first video. Was it a recording or was it something live? I'm assuming it was probably a recording.
Do you mean like in middle school, or when I was like super serious about it and actually started doing it?
You tweaked my question. Now I have a different question.
Okay.
What was the difference between when you first put out a video not serious versus when you put out a video and you're like, this right here is what I want to do?
Well, in middle school, it was kind of just like it was there. Like I didn't really like think about it. I was like, oh yeah, like it's there. Whoever watches it. And I remember I didn't like really want to get serious about it until I met this girl that was a YouTuber in my mall, in my hometown. I had no idea she lived in the same state as me. Her name was Tabby, and she used to make like these little like short YouTube skits. And I met her and I was like, oh no, these are real people that like do this. Like I like actually want to do it. But it was just again like silly videos and like hoping it would catch wind. And after I met her, she ends up like getting on her YouTube and like telling people to go follow me. Weird. I was like 14. I was
What's
like,
up?
what the fuck? So I got like 1,000 subscribers overnight as a 14, and I had no idea how to handle that. And I probably dropped the ball. I probably should have done something with that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, I was still doing like unserious stuff, just kind of hoping it would take wind, and I just kind of let them all go, like because I was 14, it didn't seem like too serious. But then in 2019, my first experience with content creation was a live stream, and I was doing it. And I wanted to throw up the whole time, and I wanted to throw up after. But after it, I was like, no, yeah, like I do want to do this. Like this is what I want to do. And I just went balls to the wall from there. Not that I have ball, like the saying.
I think we figured that part out.
like the saying, yeah, that thing.
I mean, your question it got me questioning. I'm just kidding. All right, so shout out to the chat one more time. I see Infinite Umbra. You said, "Hey, who's the pretty lady?" It is SMACPISCES, also known as Cameron on Twitter, which you probably find her a lot easier if you use SMACPISCES. Cameron, there might be about 8 million of them suckers on
a couple.
On there. But yeah, go check her out. What I advise you to do, Umbra, is go check out her channel on YouTube and hit her and hit that follow button on Twitch, and you'll see whenever she goes live. She has fantastic content, and she really does keep up with her chat very well, better than I do. Because I'm getting behind with you guys going in here already, but it's all good. I see Super Spyro saying hi, what's up? Dangerous Boy says Killer Cam.
What's up?
Yeah, he's a good brother. I actually had him on here last year around this time fantastic dude in the community. Brother, military man. Brother's a big, strong brother. Don't mess with him. Don't mess with him.
He is. I follow him on Insta.
He's a big bro.
He is.
But
he's
anyways,
cool.
Fastback OG, NLG podcast. I see you. I just got accepted into the Gamers United Guild, and I'm seeing a lot of these individuals coming through on the in the chat. So like Graphics God, Fastback, and a few others probably either rolled through or whatnot. But anyways, fantastic individuals. I'll be getting a part of my intro changed up a little bit just to show everybody else what other channels are on the Gamers United Guild other than mine, just so we can all kind of support each other. They added me on because I tell you, I mean, I'm very much like a lot of them. They just want to, share the fun that is in gaming and enjoy the experience and have a good time with other people instead of trying to get follows from like toxicity and stuff like that, because that works, but how long can you keep that up? I don't know.
And
I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
It is poisonous. You ain't lying, girl. Spit. But so you said as you were starting up in content creation, the very first episode, you wanted to vomit the whole time. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my God.
I mean, I know why, but why?
I have no idea why I thought a live stream would be the first thing that I would do. Like, Cameron, please. Like,
That's tough.
And it was so bad because I didn't know anything about OBS. I got my PC probably 2 days before, didn't test anything, loaded up Overwatch. The frames were skipping and people were stopping by telling me I was bad and all this stuff. But I had the time of my life. But I wanted to throw up because I think the first time you like really get into the internet and you like put yourself out there, like it's all hands, because people can decide that they don't like you and that you're cringe and and they will tell you, and you have to be able to take that on the back and keep it pushing, because I don't know, that just scared me at first. Now I understand that, but I think back then that was a scary thought that people could say anything.
Let them know that each time you go live, especially when you're on camera, there's still nerves. No matter how many times you do it, you can do it every day of the week, and each time when you go to hit live, palms are a little sweaty.
Every time
you're wondering what that initial impression is going to feel like, and if you're even in the mood to do it.
Yeah, and you have to be in the mood, or it's just going to be a clusterfuck. It shows, definitely. So.
Exactly. And that's why anytime I do a podcast, especially if I'm hosting it, I start out like the first sentence at least explosive, because it's like, hey, get your shit together. You're live. like you know what I'm saying? So elaborate a little bit more on beginning. So after your first stream, you're like, hell, that was wild, but I want to keep doing it. What was kind of the next move? Because you said, hey, I realize now I'm hella unorganized. What was kind of the things that you did to prepare for, where you are now?
I think it was a little harder for me starting out because I didn't really like know anyone. Everyone that I saw streaming was like people I've been watching since middle school, and obviously I can't DM them and be like, "Hey, like I just started streaming. Like, do you have any?" You know what I mean? Like, it would have been weird. So a lot of it was literally just like going to other people's channels and being like, "Oh, they have alerts. What are alerts?" And then learning that I needed to get alerts. Like just simple things, not like going to people's channel and being like, "Oh, I like that concept, mine." But like just like learning the basics from other people was so huge for me, because I had like no one kind of in my arsenal that had ever done this before. So yeah, it was a lot of watching and then learning by doing and testing and things like that.
Okay. All right. If you could tell a new streamer something, or go back and tell yourself something when you first started streaming, what are a few things that you would tell that person?
I think Because I'm trying to think, what I want to tell myself. Because I do, think about that a lot. Like, oh, I wish I'd known that when I first started streaming because it would have been helpful. But I think like number one, like you can do, all the alerts you want and get like all of the graphic design that you want and have like the best microphone and the best camera and everything like that. Whatever. For me, it's always gonna be showing up as myself every fucking time because once you get into this space, like, or one thing I struggled with was like the numbers game real bad. Like I was wondering like, oh, I'm putting in all this work, why don't I have what, XYZ has, or what about this? And I would try to change myself to hopefully, gain some of that traction. Maybe I'm not this enough, or maybe I'm not, I even went through a phase where I was like, maybe I'm not being e-girl enough. Like maybe I should show my body more, which made me so uncomfortable. Because when
Mm.
you show your body, people comment on it, and then it becomes like a whole thing. And that really disturbed
And
me when
that's
I
what
was
your
going
nose,
live.
and that's what you're known for too. Then you can't go back
Yeah.
after that.
And so I was like, no, like, fuck this. Like, you need to show up as Cameron or whoever you are, whoever's listening. You need to show up as you every time because nobody's going to do you like you do you. Ever. They could try to imitate it. They can try to take it, whatever, copy you, do whatever. But every single time, you got to bring you to the table and bring your quirks and bring your special things and bring the way you talk and on all of that because there is an audience that is going to love that about you. Love it, love it, love it. Whether you're doubting yourself or not, like, you just got to do it. You got to show up as you every time.
Absolutely. And you could really see when you watch her content, you guys, I'm telling you, when you can really see it's just coming natural. It's just coming natural. Now, when she does her edits and whatnot, you think, oh, maybe she just kind of did that. And then you actually go and watch her live stream and it looks the same, except
It's that fucking chaotic all the
yeah,
time.
yeah. I mean, it's not a show that she's putting on. I mean, it is in a way, it's something for you to watch, sure. But what I'm saying is she's not pretending to be something that she's not. And that's what makes it so fun to watch because it's not like, oh yeah, I can compare her to somebody else. No, she is Smack Pisces and I have nothing to compare her to. It's just really fun to watch and it's interesting.
Thank
And
you.
sometimes
Thank
it's weird, but I like it.
Yeah, no, it's all the time. It's weird all the time.
I'm just being honest. Sometimes it's weird. I've seen a couple episodes. I was like, what the hell is actually happening right now? But
Mhm.
that's the fun part. That's the thing that sets her off, sets her aside from somebody else. Not trying to be somebody else. It's great. But continuing on, I just started kind of doing this the last few episodes, and I think it's really important to be able to kind of remember where you came from, to remember who brought you, or at least who helped motivate you to become who you are today. So I just want to take this time and let everybody know in the chat that's watching currently, if you have any appropriate questions for Smack Pisces, this would be the time to ask them. But while they're doing that, if they even have any questions, I want you to please let me know some people that you'd like to shout out and just, pay homage to and give respects to that really helped you bring yourself to where you're at currently today on YouTube, Twitch, social media in general.
Yeah, absolutely. There are some in the chat right now. So shout
That's
outs
what's
to
up.
y'all. Danger's Voice was definitely like one of the first people that I met. We, came together through Warframe, which seems like ages ago. But he has been there for me time after time after time after time. And we've known each other since 2019. So
Mm.
he's been huge. Dang, how much time we got? The list is kind of long. How much time
Just
do we got?
go. I mean, we got time. We got time.
Yeah, Hidden Six in the chat has been one of my mods since probably my first or second month of streaming, like, and definitely someone that I've leaned on like a brother throughout so many things that have occurred. I mean, on stream, off stream, just like I feel like having a friend, who is physically there for you but is also emotionally supportive is huge. Especially when you're putting yourself out there, and he's been great. I'll start running. I had a friend named Celestial Zen. She was like one of the first people that really like rated me and welcomed me into her community, and like that was huge. I never had that happen before, and she was so sweet. And she helped me get affiliate. It was huge. Just just really, really thoughtful. Um, Kim Meow, Clem, Jesus, Rob Lucci, Evident that's in the chat. I've known him just as long as I've been streaming. Amateur Dreamer, Finn, like the list is just, it cannot be contained. The amount of people, and you're making me think about it now, and it's getting me a little emotional. But the amount of people that I really do have to thank that have gotten me to where I am, just like mental health wise and everything, is it's long, and I'm so grateful for those people because honestly, without a lot of them, I would not be here, and it's an honor to know them. So thank you. And if I didn't say your name, please know that I love you to death, and there are so many people that I wish I could thank. If we had 6 hours, I could do it,
We
but I
do.
don't. 6 hours? I'll start getting a list out. Pen and paper.
Oh man. So Dangerous Voice said, damn, who started cutting onions in here?
That's what I'm saying. What?
Cult Classic
Jesus.
Cage comes through and says, absolutely love her hair. She
Thank
loves what
you.
what you're working with, the hair wise at least. I'm gonna chop this name. I'm so bad at saying people's names. A Fantastic, or I want to say that's it. A Fantastic says, if you could have one game series remade for new age consoles, what would it be? What game or series?
Ooh. Game or series?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Final Fantasy X. I know they remastered it, but it was not good enough for me. I need them to take Final Fantasy X and do what they did with Final Fantasy VII. I need a whole rework because that game, to me, I replay that game every year, which is kind of embarrassing because it never changes.
It's like a Christmas story.
I love it that much. It's amazing. And so I would love to see that with like some PS5 graphic. That would make me get a PS5. That's my condition. But any graphics, like I would just love it. I think the story is beautiful and it makes me so happy. So I would love that.
She said, "Oh, all right, I'll buy a PS5 today if you."
Oh yeah, if they said it's a PS5 exclusive, I'd be like, "Where the card at?" Because I'm gonna have to get it.
Rob D. Lucci says, "We love you too, Smack."
Hey, don't make me cry.
Hey, your folks are outside today to see you perform, and you're doing fantastic. Just keep doing your thing. Whether it's here on another channel or on your own channel, just keep doing you. You're very proud of it, and you should be. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Very much. Or I said very much. I appreciate it. But anyways, so I got a few other questions I like to ask that are kind of more on today or the future. We might tap into a couple questions that are kind of in the past a little bit, but for the most part, this is stuff that's kind of either current or future thoughts. Okay. So first one that I got for you is what gaming genre is SMACPISCES saying hell no to?
Platformers. And I know that's not a genre, I guess, but I hate platforming games. And the reason that this is coming to mind is because I watched the Nintendo Direct yesterday. I saw a lot of platforms, kind of pissed, but it's just not my thing. I'm not good at it, and I get frustrated really easy when it comes to those types of things. So if I like got really far and like fell off or something, it's a wrap. So I just choose not to play those games.
So that's good enough for you to turn off the game and just be done.
Oh, absolutely. Because what the, like sometimes there won't even be a checkpoint. I'm on the top level and I fall all the way back down. I'm good.
Okay, that was a fairly quick answer. All right. I want to know what games remind you of your frustration. So with that being said, in that genre that you don't like, what are some games that give you that feeling of, man, fuck this?
So in that genre,
Mhm.
So there was a game. It was like super popular either last year or the year before that. But it Jump King? Maybe it's Jump King. But you literally are jumping as high as you can, and it's like all one level, and you're jumping through like different areas and stuff, but you can literally like fall all the way down. And so I wasn't really into that. And then there's Getting Over It. I'll never play that game. Ever. If whoever y'all believe in came down from heaven and said, I will give you the if you play Getting Over It, I'd be broke for the rest of my life.
Damn, that hatred's pretty extreme right there for that game. But on the I need to know something that might not be in the same genre. And this is also a negative question.
Okay.
What game do you absolutely hate other than the ones that you just named? Like what game could somebody hand you and you'd be like, take this back?
Ooh, I've never thought about that. The first thing that comes to my head is Escape from Tarkov, because I think it's boring and I don't like hunting for slices of cheese and running through warehouses and then dying and losing all my stuff. So probably that one. I don't think anyone could pay me to play that one either. It's just not appealing. So probably that one.
You went
I would say
straight
I
for
hate
a
it,
popular game. You went.
Do you like it?
I never really got into it.
But you were
But I
gonna
know
say
it's
no.
a
I was gonna
popular
say
game. I know it's a popular game.
yeah.
I'm not very good at with some like anything that's because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that game because I've never played it? Is that game a like a game like Fortnite?
It's more so like it's very slow paced and you're running with the team, and I guess it's like Fortnite in the way that you want to be like the last one standing,
Yeah,
but
that's what I
it's
mean.
very
Battle
much
Royale.
not as fun. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is a battle royale game. So that's why I haven't played it because I'm not into
Sleeper.
anything battle royale.
Yeah. You're
That's
not missing
my
out.
genre that I'm like, go away. I don't care. All you want
Yeah.
me to do is buy stuff and
You buy
continue to
skins,
do
yeah.
the same thing over and over. I don't want to just go out here and die and have to start all over.
Yeah.
Especially if I die and I'm like the like 3 away from being like number 1.
Yeah,
That
that's the
that
worst.
would scar me. See, that's when I'd become an aggressive gamer and I'd start spiking shit like you do with PSPs and shit like
Right,
that. So
right,
all
right.
right. But gotcha. So what 3 games have you played that you really enjoyed in the past year? And it doesn't matter if it came out within the last year. I just want to know like what have you been playing for the last like 365 that was like the biggest deal to you?
Ooh, so there's a game in like early access right now that's like technically coming out in August, but it's been in early access for years, and it's called Baldur's Gate 3. And that is probably like my number one game right now. And no matter how many times I've been in the early access part, I will still replay it because it's so good. If anybody's interested in like D&D or things like that, it's very much like that. But it's just done in a way that's like never been done before. And that's all I'll say. But if you played the other Baldur's Gates and they were kind of snooze fest, this one is just so redone and it's modern and it fits with today. So that's probably one of them.
Baldur's Gate's
Um,
a big game.
what'd you say?
I said Baldur's Gate's a big game.
Yeah, yeah, it's huge, and I hope that I don't want to jinx it, but I hope it wins Game of the Year. Anyway, moving on. I guess number 2 would probably be there was like a weird thing that came out. What was it called? New World? First World? Something like that. You like play like in this like medieval time period and you're like running around with skits and stuff. It's pretty cool. Like the crafting system is cool, the leveling is cool, but like it completely fell off. So it's not one of my top games, but it was probably one of the better games that I played within the last year. And then also, there's a game called Grounded where you get shrunk down in like a science experiment and you're in the grass and stuff. I love that game and I think that it's really cool. but I refuse to play it again because when I spawned in, a spider spawned right beside me.
Oh, you don't like spiders.
Oh no.
You know
I
that
have
there's
many
an
clips on my
option.
channel of smashing them.
There's an option in the accessibilities to turn the like arachnophobia thing on
Yeah,
or
but I'm not no
whatnot.
bitch.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I can't do it because if you turn it off, they just walk around like little blobs, and like I'm just not. I want the whole thing. I don't. But like when I'm
Hmm.
playing it, I want the whole thing, you know? So haven't played it since, but it's a good game. If
I
you like it,
just
check it out.
realized this, but behind your head is Hisoka.
Yeah, they're in there.
Oh, right there too. Okay.
Yeah.
You're a Hunter fan. That's dope.
I am. I love Hunter x Hunter so much.
That's fantastic. I love that show. Man, trying to remember. I haven't watched it for a hot minute. I'm trying to remember the name of my favorite character, Electric Dude. I don't remember
Oh,
his damn name.
Killua.
Killua, yeah, Killua. His family is freaking insane.
They're crazy.
They
Toxic
hate
family if
him.
I've ever seen one.
I swear they hate him.
Crazy.
They don't like him. His brother is terrible, terrible
He's got
individual.
problems.
His dad is just like Thor. And
Yeah.
then his like grandfather is like the dad controller. He like tells the dad what to do and everything.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
it's
A
insane.
mess.
It's a fantastic show. The last enemy in that show reminds me so much of Dragon Ball Z Frieza.
The ant guy.
Yeah, like that bug
Yeah,
dude
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. He
Yeah.
reminds
He
me
does look like a
so much
Dragon
of
Ball Z
Frieza.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has that like helmet kind of thing on, and he just looks like a hunter version of Frieza, like
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely. And
And
just
then
OP as hell. Like, just crazy.
Hisoka's nasty ass reminds me of Orochimaru. Yeah, that motherfucker reminds me
Yeah,
of
I mean,
Orochimaru. He's a creep though, but
kinda.
extra creepy. Extra
Yeah.
creepy with the
I love it
with the
though. I'm
bungee
like,
gum or whatever.
I love it. Like, he's so like eccentric. I think that's why he became my favorite character. Cause I was like, whoever just like wrote this character was like, how did you come up with that? Like, he's so interesting. And I think that's why I was like, yeah,
He's like
that
an
guy.
anti-hero kind of guy too. Like
Yeah.
it's easy to say, yeah, dude, like I think he's like the main antagonist, and then you figure out that
There's others.
he literally just doesn't give a fuck. That's his character.
Yeah.
Is he just doesn't give a
Yeah.
shit, and he wants to be stronger than you. That's his point. That's
And
it.
see
He's
if he
just
can
like
fight you.
exactly. He's like, I just
So
want to make
who's
it to the
next?
top and just keep whooping everyone's ass and laughing at them in their face.
He's like the Krishan Rock of anime.
It's fantastic. I love that show. It's fantastic. Great segue. But back onto the topic, I want to know now what your favorite, and I want to hear this from the chat too. I want to get you guys involved in this question because this is always a fun one. And everyone, they usually pick something way top tier or they pick something that's really rare. I want to know from you, Smack, what's your favorite studio? And then what game best represents that studio? So you guys in the chat, go on ahead and let me know what is your favorite studio and what game best represents it.
So for me, it's gonna be, I don't know if this is the same studio that I was talking about before. So if it's Quantic Dream, then it is. But the dev team for Until Dawn and like Man of Medan and things like that, I love those games. Like, love them to death. Like I was saying before, like I'm so into that immersion aspect of gaming and the decision making and like the butterfly effect, like your choices matter, that those games are always going to be like my number one. I love it. I love to see the outcomes. It's great.
So for that game in particular, I just looked it up for you. It is Supermassive.
I need to get better at that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm more than happy to help you out. But yeah, I mean, they are not somebody that I've particularly got into. Because like let's see, the last game I played from them was The Quarry.
Right.
And and I'm telling you that the story of The Quarry is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
But I don't have the energy or thought process like you do. Okay? You're much more fun with those kind of games, especially when you go to stream them and do stuff, because the decisions and your commentary with the decisions are funny. My content, if I did that, would be a lot less exciting. And it'd just be like,
Okay.
all right, I'm gonna walk over here and hit X. All right, I'm done with that. I'm gonna walk over here and hit X. All right, I'm gonna shine my light into this window.
It is hard. You got to be like in the mood for it, because those games are long too. They're long-winded, super long.
How do you keep the energy up when you're doing games like that? Like a game like Life is Strange. When you're doing that, and I mean, it's funny listening to you commentate, because your protagonist is a female, at least. I don't know if it's like that for the whole game, but I at least know that, like, listening to you like commentate after they get done saying what they're saying is just fucking funny, and it seems much more fitting than somebody like me commentating, and it may seem a little
Right.
unsupported.
Right.
But please tell me, like, how do you keep up that energy when you do that kind of stuff?
So do you mean like while I'm playing them or in between playing them? Because I think for me, I have
while you're
two
playing it.
different. Okay, yeah. While I'm playing it, it's more so like I have to stay engaged. Like from frame one, like I have to be like on it, kind of. So like if I'm gonna be, commentating and talking and that, like I have to do it and like stay on the roll the whole time, because there are times when I'm recording where I'm like, gosh, I'm like tired. Like I don't want to like know what Max is gonna do about this and this and this, because those episodes are so long. They're like an hour.
Right.
Once they're edited down, they're like an hour. So it's really like almost 2 hours of gameplay, and like it is tiring. But like I think as long as like I start good, I'm gonna end good. But the second it drops off, it's like it's over. So.
Okay, so we only got a few more questions left until we hit the end of the show. I appreciate most of you guys for sticking around. It's been a good time learning a whole lot about Smack this evening. But as I continue on, I want to know what game coming in the future, or actually I want you to list off a couple games. What games coming down the line are you most excited for that you've seen?
Was gonna go ahead and get Baldur's Gate out of the gate. Baldur's Gate 3. I'm gonna rep it till the day I die. I'm so excited for August. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, yesterday actually, after I saw the Legend of Zelda, I think it's like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep, you're right.
I kind of wanna play that. I might have to bring out the handheld for that, because it looked amazing. The graphics look phenomenal, and while I'm a huge Legend of Zelda fan, like I'm all about experiencing like the newness, and like it looked good. So I really want to try that out in May.
What do you think about the price tag? Before we continue on, what do you think about that $70 price tag? First Nintendo game of its own that they're selling at $70. I believe before was Skyrim, which everyone's blaming Microsoft for, but it's like, hey, they're not the ones selling it. It's Nintendo selling it. So it's not the first Nintendo game that's $70, but it's the first one of their own that's $70, which kind of tells you the direction that they're going in. But it's kind of weird because their hardware is like 6 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about that?
When I heard about it, I wasn't surprised. So there wasn't like an outrage within me or anything like that. Because I think like games are progressively getting more expensive, and I'm just like not surprised that, a game that looks that good would cost that much money. Do I think it's right? No, because what? $70 for a game, that's a whole bill. You have to think about it like that. And Nintendo games never go on sale. But at the same time, like, I guess I kind of get it, but I also want to know why the sudden price change. Like, what is that? You know? So there's questions. I'm not too bothered by it, but like, it is steep, like for a game, I think.
Does that price deter you from like being day one on that game?
I will probably wait and see what people say about it, but I'm normally like that. I don't normally, pre-order anything or
So you don't get the whole FOMO thing?
no. Because if I
Nope.
missed out on something bad, then it's like, sorry
Yep.
guys. Kind of
I've
thing.
had FOMO bite me in the ass a few times last year with Callisto Protocol.
Oh yeah.
Tiny Tina's was just not good in my opinion. And I know there was one other game, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And that's how you know it wasn't good.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, when I've seen that price, I'm not a huge Zelda fan, but my wife is. She loves
Oh.
Zelda. We each have a Switch because she didn't want to share. So so she's really excited for that game. And I seen that price tag and I was like, babe, you are not getting that game until you beat the last one. And I'm hoping that she takes long enough for it to go on a sale. And I know Nintendo doesn't really do sales, but one thing that they do have is like the reward points that you get if you buy games. And I have some reward points still saved up. And I was like, I don't care. I am not going I'm not going to pay $70 for this game. I don't care if I have to use its own reward points. Sure, I'm giving Nintendo back their money, whatever. It was going to happen anyways, right? Because that's the only place that you can use the reward points. So it's just like, I'm going to get that game eventually for my wife. I'd like to wait to see it on sale, and I'm hoping enough people get frustrated and maybe it goes back to the regular price.
Yeah,
But
honestly.
but to be honest, the climate doesn't look like that right now. It looks like a lot of people are supporting it, and I find that really
Weird. I think it's weird. I think that's so weird. Nintendo is a huge company, and so to like willingly want to, oh yeah, like take my 70 is like strange.
I don't
Without
want to hear.
questions, at
I don't
least.
want to hear none of those people complain about Xbox the way it looks or PlayStation the way it looks. You can't complain about PC because it always just looks better than everything else. But I don't want to hear none of that from nobody anymore. That's planning on buying this game. It's just like, man, you're out here paying just as much as you would pay for God of War.
Yeah.
For like half the fidelity. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it anymore. But
Honest.
But anyways, getting back to it. You listed some fantastic games that you're looking forward to. You weren't finished before I cut you off, so go on ahead.
I think there was one other one that I saw at the Game Awards. It was actually made by the people that made BioShock, and it looks pretty similar. But turns out they hoed me. It's called Judas, I think. They hoed me because it's not going to be released until 2025, I just heard. So really sad about that. Thought that was coming out this year, but it's definitely something I'm looking forward to. So
Yeah, it was a really short showing that they had at the Game Awards as well, but it definitely looked interesting, and you know they're going to take chances because if you ever played any of the BioShocks, some of it was really awkward, especially Infinite.
yeah, I didn't finish Infinite, but from what I've been experiencing,
they
it's
have some very wild thought processes in that game.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Lots of shock value, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Infinite Umbra says, and way worse performance. Speaking about the Nintendo Switch, absolutely. I think their next console should be whatever the resolution is, minimum of the Steam Deck, and have at least 60 FPS that they can push.
Yeah,
off of
I mean
thing.
that's not a huge ask.
It's not. I'm not asking for 4K or I'm not even asking for 1080p. Because I know on these compressed screens, you really don't need that much resolution, right?
Yeah.
But you need enough. And hell, we're heading into 2024 this coming year. You know, like I mean, we're in 2023 right now, and it's just like Like everything is trying its damnedest to make a performance patch for it. So for your Xbox, for your PlayStation, all that stuff, it's going really close to PC. I'm not asking Nintendo to follow suit with these consoles, but what I am asking them to do is remember what year they're in.
Yeah, exactly. Keep
And
up with the times, like
it'd be nice to have a game that just looked smoother. It doesn't even need to
yeah.
be crazy resolution higher. Like I said, just like another 180 180 what is it called, like just boost the res just a little bit, but mostly just give it that smooth gameplay so you're not feeling like
Stuttering
you're buying a
around.
$70 game and getting shit performance. Like,
Exactly.
my opinion, take it or leave it, I don't care.
Good one.
But Evidence said 70 Zelda better optimized for show for $70. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. General Spartan 27 says I'm not paying $70 for a Switch game. Not until they
Amen.
have a higher performance console. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I just got done saying. And then yeah, A Fantastic is saying 2025. I'm assuming they're talking about Judas right there.
Yep, unfortunately.
And then Raw D Lucci says, assuming they stick with the handheld trajectory. I really do think they should stick with the handheld trajectory. In fact, I think what they should do, in my opinion, is hey, if they don't want to put all that extra performance into their handheld, they should make some sort of docking system that upgrades or upreses something when you plug it into the TV, just so you can have an all-around experience. I don't think exactly in particularly like when you're, sitting in the car or at the doctor's office or something like that, that do you need to have do you need to have like the highest like 4K or 1080 or 1440 or any of that stuff? But like if you could come home and just get the sense of, hey, I'm gonna put this in the dock and it's just gonna explode with better graphics or better frames or whatnot, it would just be like a really cool feature to have within
It
it.
would
That
change the game.
it really would change the game, right?
Change the game.
Go from 720 and then you plug it into the dock and it runs up to 1080 and it
Yeah.
gives you 60
I mean, that's a
FPS.
huge yeah. And
Let's
again, not a huge ask for a company like Nintendo that has so many resources and things at their disposal, like, it's definitely time. So,
it would seem to be, but let's continue on. And my next question is going to be, if you were to revive two games that are completely dead IPs, you had a similar question asked by somebody earlier about like a game series or whatnot. You said Final Fantasy 10 earlier. I want you to take that out of the mix right now. All right.
okay.
I want you to reach back and put two games that are dead now and give it that AAA quality. What two games would you take from the past and redo?
Hmm. Can I say one that's kinda girly that you guys might not like, but I literally loved it as a kid?
This is your games. It ain't mine.
Okay, sheesh. Okay, so I love the Bratz games. It's so funny that you talked about your daughter playing the Barbie games. I used to play like all of like the Bratz games, and there used to be like Bratz Forever Diamonds and Rock Angels and stuff like that. I played the crap out of those on my PlayStation, and they were great. I would love to see a reboot of those because I would play them. They'd be so
What
nice.
was it, like a
But that
design game, like design your character kind of thing and show out
well,
everywhere?
like, yeah, and they would, like, send you on missions, and you could roller skate around the mall and stuff. It was just so cool. It made my little heart so happy because I love the Bratz dolls, so I was like, "Hell yeah, like, I'm about to play as Jade, let's get it." Like, I loved it. I
Oh,
loved it
my
so much.
my daughter would love you showing her that game for sure. What's
Gosh.
the second game you got in mind?
I don't really know if I have one. I can't think of a game that I particularly, miss per se.
Hmm.
that was a series. And I say that because I already don't play a lot of like series games. Like I feel like Final Fantasy, yeah, they have a lot of, different ones, but they're not all interconnected and following a story. So I never really had a game where I was like I never really was into Uncharted or anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe like
How
some
about a
of
standalone?
Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase. Easy.
Hmm. She went straight back to the
I lo
PS2.
I live for that, like, nostalgic, like, 90s, like, growing up, like, those games. Like, they made me so happy, so I would love to see them. That would be amazing.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, now I'm only down to two more questions that I have left for you, okay? One of
Okay.
them is something I want to hear your honest opinion on. All right. Well, or obviously I
I
want
can
your
do
honest
that.
opinion on both of them,
Yeah.
but for the first one, I think it's just a little bit more serious than the second one, which is what frustrates you about gaming, if anything at all. So this is any corner of gaming, whether it's community, development, platforms, whatever. Like, what frustrates you or just really gets under your skin about gaming?
I really, really hate how easy it is to divide a group of people that came up doing the exact same thing. And when I say that, it's like, when I was, like, younger, like, we were all just playing video games, and it was never like, yeah, there was, like, the console wars or whatever, like, people would go to school and argue over PlayStation and Xbox and things, but I feel like now that we're older and we're having, like, more detailed discourse and, we're experiencing, like, adult viewpoints, it is so easy for one thing to happen and everybody's divided and everybody has an opinion, which they're entitled to have, but everybody has an opinion and everyone's fighting and like Twitter gets up in arms and like I have to take a break during that stuff because it is super overwhelming to scroll and see all of that. But I really wish it wasn't so easy to get the gaming community like against each other. I mean, it could be anything from like a game review and people disagree and it's like life or death, I really wish that we could all kind of go back to like the root of where it started, like the love of video games and like unless the issue is too serious and it shouldn't be ignored, like put the smaller things to the side and like I don't know, because I feel like if the gaming community came together, we could bully PlayStation into making a new console, and we could bully Nintendo, or we could bully Nintendo into like lowering the price of the Zelda game, like because we do have that power. There are millions of us, but I think we get divided so easily that that never shows up. So I
And
think that's
and
frustrating for me.
and let's keep this a buck. These companies see us bullying and they almost cheer it. They don't want to tell you that they're cheering it, but they're happy that you're over here and yelling at the other side. Let's be honest, right? Because they're seeing money come from that. Oh, you pretty much like got this person to get a PlayStation and made them feel like shit, right? I mean, the company doesn't care. It doesn't have feelings. The
Yeah,
company does not have feelings. So if anyone's expecting a company like Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo to come in and say, "Hey, you guys calm down, relax now. We don't need to
yeah,
do any of
never
this."
gonna
That's
happen.
not going to happen. That is
Never. Yeah,
never going to happen. We got to take it upon each other to be respectful, which is like very far-fetched to see because people, I feel like, try to get the most out of pocket just for clicks or just for
absolutely.
somebody to notice them. Hey, I'm on your side too. Will you be my buddy and help me be an asshole to these people? And they're like,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
it's
Uh,
fucked
so
up.
so yeah, I mean, and that's the kind of community that I'm trying to form here. I don't think everyone's going to adapt. Never happens with anything. Doesn't matter what kind of organization you run. Not everyone's going to be on board with it, but I'm doing my best to at least get the right people around, get the right people on, talk to the right people, and also keep the right people around in the chat. And I feel like the chat, week in and week out, you guys keep it very appropriate. You guys keep it respectful. And I've had a few different instances where I interviewed somebody where the chat pretty much kicked them out. You can like telling them
Oh,
get the hell up
wow.
out of here with that joint, with that jive and shit like that. So it's pretty fantastic to know that when you garner and surround yourself with the right people, they will do the fighting for you. But unfortunately, it works the other way around too. Right?
Exactly.
If you're a piece of shit, you're gonna get a lot of pieces of shit with you.
Right.
To fight for you. So it sucks, but this is the best that we could do is just try to make a positive space in which we can combat any sort of negativity and just try to make a safe space to where we all can have a good time and also learn some stuff about each other. And as the future goes on, we grow and grow.
I think you're
But
doing a great job. Everyone I've seen today has been great. So
yeah, and you definitely got a few subscribers out of some of the people in the chat, which is fantastic.
thank you
As I
guys.
said earlier, her stuff's in the description. You guys can go find her through there. Click that subscribe button. She's a fantastic individual, and if you if in fact you enjoy what I'm doing over here and what I'm trying to garner over here, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to know whenever I go live. I do different shows like 5 days a week, but the last question I got for you before we start to get up out of here is, what would be a dream come true to Smack Pisces in gaming?
Ooh, a dream come true. I want to see, because we've talked a lot about genres, that I want to see a game that, and well, does this well, is like a multi-genre, if that makes sense. So like I want it to have story, but action, but first-person shooting, but horror, but decision making. If there was a game like that, that would be my all-time dream favorite game ever. I would love that.
Okay, so you want a game? Yeah, all right. Because there are some games that tried to implement that,
But they're
but okay. He said,
that's why
but
I said they got to do it well.
yeah,
They got to do
yeah,
it
for
well.
sure. Okay. To try to narrow this down a little bit, what would be the closest game to do this somewhat well, but you wish still had a little bit more?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Fallout 4. And I know that it doesn't seem like Fallout 4 has some horror in it, but when I see that big ass monster that pops out the ground and starts running after you, what is it called? A death claw? That's the horror for me. And the caves and stuff, that's the horror for me. But like I think Fallout 4 was like a great like almost there for me. Like I loved the game, but I was always wishing that it had more. Every time I play it, I'm like, oh, I wish it was this, or they should have done this, or this. I think that was like the closest, but I think it's like the tip of the ice. Like it's like barely the tip.
What's one thing you'd like to change about a Bethesda game, like Fallout or upcoming Starfield or something like that?
Ooh, so I don't know anything about Starfield, so I can't speak to that.
Sure.
But I did play New Vegas 376 4. I want a bit more personalization and not in like the appearance type of way. Like I've mentioned these games where your decisions have more weight. I think Fallout 4 did a great job with that at the end. You get 3 options, and I'm not gonna say what else, but
Right.
it had a good ending. But I think just like more to that character development front, because you're always just playing as like a random person. And Fallout 4 was the first time you really got like a story you got to see play out. The whole way through from beginning to end, you get a happy family and then you get whatever. I want that, but like times 100. And I think it'd be beautiful if there were more choices.
Oh, okay.
If
Wow.
that
So
makes
you
sense.
want so you just want more expansion out of it.
Yeah. hmm
More of a sense of
It's a bit too
living
linear for
instead of
me.
mission.
Right. Right.
Gotcha.
Like I want to
Okay.
see a character develop in the wasteland. Like I really want to see, the different occurrences that can happen. So yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. Actually, like, I mean, that's a whole lot of game though, right there. Because that's,
Yeah.
I mean, Fallout's already big alone the way it is. So if you're asking
Mhm.
for more, just to be dug in and actually feel like you're like living that life. I don't know. Maybe
It's a
check out
tough job.
Starfield because they're supposed to like this new Starfield game's supposed to have like thousands upon thousands of more
Ooh.
lines and stuff like that than a Fallout game and more choices and stuff. So
So it's like space-based or?
so it yeah, I mean, so you're a traveler essentially. You're picking some sort of clan that you're going to be with, and you can also pretend to be in a clan to sniff out information about them and be a sneaky asshole. But like from what I hear or from what I've seen, you can make your own, houses and places, and you can make your own ship. There's a ton of different planets. It's gonna be, like Skyrim in space, essentially.
Ooh. Yeah, I might have to check that out. I hadn't heard anything about it, which is so weird, but
Definitely go. Just last year for Xbox's showcase, they did a 10 to 15 minute presentation just talking about it. I recommend just going and watching it and listening to it. They're doing a bunch of stuff to fix the game currently right now. That's why it didn't release last year. Hopefully it releases this year, crossing my fingers on that. But it's supposed to be just too goddamn big. So hopefully,
yeah.
maybe you're getting exactly what you asked
That
for
could
and
be
you
the
don't even
dream.
know it.
Yeah, that could be the dream. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Danger Voice said, "I can't wait for Starfield."
Dangerous
Doc
voice
Dark Doc Dark came through here and said, "We talking about Xbox." I see you, bro. I see you. He always be coming in on fire and whatnot. But yo, Smack, I really enjoyed having you on this evening. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure. I learned a ton of dope stuff about you. The chat was fantastic. You got some new people following you and checking you out and seeing what you're about.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
it's really been a pleasure, and I'd like to possibly have you on a different show sometime in the future. But if you need anything from me, whether it's being on the show or just questions about anything, you know where to find me. You got my Discord. You can DM me on Twitter or whatever. But you know where to find me now, and it's been nothing but a pleasure figuring out who you
No,
are and
thank you
whatnot.
so much. It's been great, and I'm so honored that you asked me. Like I'm pumped up. This was awesome. Seriously.
Dope. I'm happy to do it. And the one last thing I'm gonna have you do before we get the heck up out of here, or actually two last things, is first I'm gonna ask you to let everybody know where they can find you, so you can tell them all that stuff. But the second one, this will give you an ability to think a little bit while you're doing that. I want you to describe gaming in 3 words.
Let's do it.
All right. So first, go on ahead and let everybody know where to find you.
Yes, you can find me here on YouTube, Smack Pisces, everywhere at Smack Pisces. So YouTube, I stream on Twitch as well. I have Twitter, Smack Pisces, Instagram, and TikTok. So kind of all of it. But it's all Smack Pisces, and I'd love to have you all find me. So, oh
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Oh, I'm not Team Xbox. I'm sorry. Love you though. Nothing against it, but not for me.
So I'm telling, because Doc Dark he loves his Xbox. She plays a lot on PC. Doesn't even own a PS5 yet, but PlayStation's where she came up. I'm giving him just the tidbits real quick. You should go back and watch the episode though. But anyways,
Yeah,
Doc Dark, calm down. She does play the application on her
I have
PC.
Game Pass.
So she has that. But run the episode back if you want to know a little bit more about her. We're getting up out of here. Describe gaming for me in 3 words.
Got it. Easy, innovative, bow, passionate, blow, daring, blow.
Wow. Fantastic. Well, thank you, SMACPISCES, and thank everybody for coming through this evening. It's been fantastic. It's been real. I appreciate everybody that came through here. Like I said earlier, make sure you go check out her page, hit that follow or subscribe button, like everything she got. It's fantastic stuff that she has. Next week, I am going to be having a fantastic person on as well. He's a developer. His name is The Don KTR. Stands for Kiss the Rings. I don't know why he put that there, but it's there. but it's there. But he's a really good dude. He does a lot of podcasting with K Mega. But he's also working on his own game. Not sure how much he'll want to talk about that, but I am really interested to hear about his history and see what's going down. If you want to check out our next episode, we're going to be having Bullsitting tomorrow about 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you guys check that out. It'll be really fun. Me, Cozy Beluga, Loke 7, Matt Likes Games is going to be on the panel, and then Cells is going to be back on the panel as well. It's going to be a really interesting show. I don't know how the hell it's going to turn out. It might be a train wreck. Who knows? But anyways, I appreciate everybody that came through. I appreciate Smack Pisces. And please remember that you better keep it gaming or keep it moving. Peace out, y'all.
Period.
Welcome to the Behind Sticks podcast, brought to you by TSWS Gaming. Come and talk to me, Lennard Ray. That's your name. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type. Listen, I'm just saying. The world just me and you. If you were playing, won't you take that chance with me and have that conversation? I just wanna have that conversation with you. Come and talk to me. I just wanna have that conversation with you. Look, see we vibing and you know it's true. Baby, what it do? Do for me and I'ma do for you. No doubt about it. Boosie, I'm a Midwest king, looking for myself a queen. Ready to chase a dream with a dope self-esteem. You find it in all I know, and that's for real. You get to shaking that ass on the floor, and I see what's real. No disrespect, I just tell it like it is. Do you ever want some kids? What your ultimate goals? Maybe I can help with those. The mo was broke when he made you a blessing. You looking like a whole buffet, and I need some seconds. You say you had promiscuous ways, that was back in the day. I'll be alive, I say I did it. That shit was a phase. So baby, take this journey with me. You can pick the time and place. This nigga isn't picky. Smile on your face, I know the deal. Sign and deliver after seal. I can see it in her eyes. This one right here for real. I just wanna have a conversation. No, I'm not your type of baby. Listen, I'm just saying. We can rule the world, just me and you if you could play.